Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Funky Uncles. Stepping on the wild side tonight. Well, what's wild to us is lukewarm to others. But tonight we like to highlight and educate ourselves on people who live an alternative, but from what I see and from what I hear from them, a fun life. So we like to welcome everyone to the stage. I like for everyone to introduce themselves.
Sure. I'll go first, I guess. I am Adora.
Welcome
Can y'all
back.
hear me? Okay, good. Y'all hear me. I like to say I am lifestyle times three because I live parts of all three parts of the lifestyle. So there you go.
Oh,
Good evening, everyone. I am Berry from New York City, and I have been in the lifestyle for 8 years, and I'm a heavy kinkster. Thank you for having me.
thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm Mocha, and I've been in the lifestyle for a while. And yeah, uh, I don't really have any special. I like all. I've tried, like it, do it.
Okay. Hey, like I said, what's wild to some may be lukewarm to others.
And you better believe it.
I don't know where the
So,
other. It should be more people on here. I don't know where they are.
Introduce yourself. I got somebody else.
okay, okay, bring them on. Bring them on.
Hello, my name is Poppy. Um, what was to say?
You are life? Are you
I'm in
lifestyle?
life. I've been in lifestyle. I'm sorry, I've been in lifestyle about a year and a half now.
Newbie.
Newbie. Met a lot of veterans from my short time, and pretty much just grown into. I'm like her. We pretty much fit the mold. We fit each other, so we're both the same. Just
Okay.
learning, exploring, and just going from there. So.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. No, everybody has their own niche. Oh, we got Sir Baker. Okay, yeah, we have one more adding to the stage. Okay, here we go, Sir Baker. Sir Baker, introduce yourself and tell us
Oh,
what your thrill is.
oh baby, what did I
Good evening, beautiful people. This is Sir Baker coming from Atlanta. Lovely to be here. I was invited by the lovely Adora. I am a service top and pro dom located in Atlanta. I do kink performances, BDSM shows, and I am just excited to be here to talk to you guys, tell you guys about the lifestyle a little bit more. I am also a swinger, not as much anymore, but I'm also poly. Have a poly queue, and I do a lot more kink and BDSM versus kink, but versus swing.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, let me just
Now,
add that in there. I am currently involved in the poly as well. So,
okay, okay. Now that's good. That's good to add that in there as well. And
And
I
we
do
are as
appreciate
well.
everybody.
We are also.
Okay, man, listen, see, now this is the type of thing that I'm talking about because there's a lot of people out there who have misconceptions. When
a
Adora
lot.
was on last month, she let some of the things out, and I know there are people who watched and hit me later say, "What in the world was going on?" I said, "Man, listen, I'm here to inform you. There's a whole nother world out there, and there probably no, there are more people out there that are interested. For one, may not know how to get into it, or may not know that they're not the only ones who are into these things. They want to know, am I the only one? Why do I have to be sheltered, so to speak? Because they may not live in an area where that's prominent. But the lifestyle is all over from what I've understood. It's just you
That's right.
don't know until you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So so
that is
what
correct.
so I want to know from each person, because I know this is gonna be interesting. What what was it that attracted you, like your initial like people experiences or whatever, said, you know what, this is what I want to do.
Well, I guess I'll go first. When it comes to kink, I really enjoy the freedom and the trust that you are allowed to be in with. Sometimes even a stranger that lets you do something as simple as spank them and get into a place that they may not be all the time. So it gives you a lot of emotional connection and trust with people, and helps you kind of like get rid of a lot of the distrust that you have going throughout your life. When it comes to swing, I enjoy sex. I enjoy group sex. I enjoy large party. I enjoy watching people have sex, just sitting there, eating popcorn or something.
Not the popcorn.
No, not buttered popcorn. I'm a kettle corn kind of. I'm a kettle corn kind of guy.
The
I ain't
sweet
fucking with that.
corn. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like, I mean,
Okay.
Okay. Who's next?
Well,
Who's
I
next?
can I can go next. For me, I was in monogamous relationships for the majority of my life. Um, I had a serious relationship when I was 17, and I stayed in that for when I was 19, and I stayed in that in 17 years. And once I got out of it, because I started so young, I really didn't know much about sex. I was in one relationship, and I was loyal and faithful. And after being cheated on and then getting into another relationship, being cheated on, I kind of rebelled and really was lost. Um, and I don't know how, but somebody connected me into some free groups on Facebook. And I was like, oh, they do that? Oh, they have sex like that? That's when Facebook was open. And I was just like lost. So I got in the freak group and I started mixing and mingling, and people were seeing my pictures and they were like, you're cute, but that ain't sexy. And a gentleman in the group was like, hey, like different stuff telling me, and I was just like really not open-minded to it. And then when I saw kind of women talking about how they have sex with multiple men, it was something that I said, I could never see myself doing that. And he was like, who are you to judge them? Who are you to say that that's not right? And it was a shock to me. He was like, as long as you're safe and you're not breaking up no happy homes and different stuff like that, you have the right to be sexually free. And if you don't, you're going to be with old men the rest of your life. And that was like a game changer for me. It was an eye opener for me. And then he basically vetted me into the lifestyle. And I've been here going on 8 years now, and I enjoy it to the fullest.
Okay. I'd like to also welcome to the stage Funky Uncle G, my co-host. He just popped in. I know he's a busy man. So G, you know what's going on tonight. We're over here trying to get some information and listening to how people are getting started, how they got started in the lifestyle, because with the different areas and what drew them and everything. So I know you just jumped in, so that's where we are right now. Who's next on the menu?
Okay. I'd like to say hello to the panel. I appreciate you guys joining the show. And I'm just listening in, catching up. Feel free to, just catching up. Ladies, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Yeah. Good show, though.
Hello.
Good show. I'm here. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I know it's about
Uh,
sex, but I don't want to jump into it not fully prepared. But
it's not
interesting
just
It's
lifestyle.
not
sex.
about sex.
I was
It's
just about to say that.
not just
Lifestyle.
sex.
Not about
Lifestyle,
sex.
right?
It's about
80% of what I
lifestyle.
Sex
do
is a
ain't got.
part of.
About 80% of what I do, I ain't never taken my pants off. Like, I have a whole wall of stuff that ain't getting near a vagina. Like, I got.
And you know what? I also think that I also think that that's the misconception. That's the
And I
misconception. A lot
Okay,
of people
let me
think
take that back.
that.
Let me say it's not just about sex, it's about a lifestyle that you choose.
Yes.
My bad. I'm ill informed, but I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll go next. Let's see. Basically, how did I get in this lifestyle? I was married. My husband and I were both cheating on each other, and
Mm,
I went on a date with a guy, and he took me to a swingers party
That's right.
on our first date.
wow.
And I
interesting.
went home and I told my husband about this great club we needed to go to. And he thought I was crazy, by the way. But we did eventually go to the club together. And that's how I started. But it was a natural thing for me. Like it felt like I was at home. Like I walked in that place and I was just absolutely comfortable. So yeah, that
So
was
your
me. But that was like
significant,
20 something years ago, man. I've
That
been
part.
your
doing this
sig-
a little
your
while.
s- your significant other doesn't mind your past being that way, or it doesn't come up, or
Well,
it's not.
We usually have the same past.
I think I
mm-mm.
think she
I was say I'm currently single, but I'm working
Okay.
on it. But whoever I'm with
All
is
right.
absolutely positively a part of the
Okay.
lifestyle before I met them. I am
Okay.
not newbie material, but I will
Right.
absolutely no look entertain the right person. No,
Oh,
but
no
yeah.
doubt.
I'm currently in a poly dynamic, and he has no problem with any photos that I post, any flirting that I do, any anything promiscuous that I do online. He has no problem with that. He actually encourages it.
Oh, okay. You have a
Um,
real understanding man there.
real quick with that. I know you said that you were poly, so a lot of the flirting is that in order looking for another husband or wife, or which dynamic is your poly?
That's why. I mean,
Okay, so my poly is
meeting.
another
Yeah, I'm in a
female,
meeting.
and she's not into women. I'm not into women, so we are with him.
so would you would
Okay,
call that a V poly
yeah. What is
organization where like one person is the fulcrum and they're basically the person that's connected to everybody else. So it's I have a poly relationship, but both of my partners both date each other. Like they going on a date Sunday without me, and then they come over to my house later to get to get their kink scenes. But
Well, I mean,
that's
mine
a
does
whole
not
different
be
thing. Mine is
poly.
a triangle, a triad. Yours, you guys don't have any romantic connection, but other than
We
to
don't have
him.
any. We don't have any romantic connection, but we have a mental connection. We are really close. We are good
Hmm.
friends. We make sure that we kind of keep him in line, keep things running smoothly. So we are connected. It's more mental than physical for me and her.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I like to say for for those out there watching and maybe watching later or what have you, that there's one of the misconceptions that's busted right there, because I know that in the vanilla world, as you guys call it, I know a little bit of the lingo. Um, in the vanilla world, there are a lot of people who will say that a man only wants two wives so he can have threesomes. And here and there, I have told people, look, that's not always the case, but they look at me like I'm crazy because I look nerdy and I don't know what's going on. I got to take the glass off so I don't look so nerdy. But it's good for someone who's living the life to say that. So the next time I hear this, I can point them to this show and say, look, these people are saying it out of their mouth. That's only your dynamic if that's what you choose.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think.
very slim. That's not as many. One, there's not as many people. Two, every woman doesn't have a romantic relationship with the other women in the polycule. Some of them have like a mental connection, or they're really good friends. It's more of a community and a teamwork thing. Where hey, if I like, hey, I know where my partner is. I have a young lady that's being under consideration to be my sub, and I know where she's at all times. I know where she lives. I know where all her partners live. So when I look at her GPS, I know when she's on a date with her other partners. I know their name. They see me. They talk to me. We all, for the most part, all the ones that I met never had a problem. And they have to. And since she's in a trying to get in a DS dynamic with me, they kind of have to talk to me about a lot of things. If they want to have a scene with her and what they could do to her, do to her, I negotiate that.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
like to
So
watch, though. I like
Interesting.
to watch.
Oh, okay. And to the brother, what's the brother name, sir?
Sir Baker,
Sir
Survey.
Sir Baker. How you doing, sir?
how you
Now,
doing?
all right, I'm doing okay, sir. Now, I got
Good
a
to hear.
question for you, brother.
Go ahead.
Now, do you ever do your ladies ever come in conflict with each other, or that's an
All the
understanding prior to
time. That
going?
is like that's
Really?
the first thing you got to learn is that conflict is going to be part of it. If you ain't got conflict resolution skills, you probably shouldn't be playing this game. That's going to be the first thing you got to do is that even if it's not on purpose, you have to learn how to listen to someone and what their needs are, and have them and basically be an advocate for the other person when the other person ain't in the room in a way, but not so much that the other person doesn't feel like slighted. So you're you're walking a tightrope, but you got to know how to work with conflict. And I think that would be any two people could have conflict, and it's not always women. Sometimes it's two guys that are going to have conflict and feel like, hey, I want this spot that this person has when I'm coming in. So conflict doesn't always come from two women, but I've had conflict with my partners in the past. All I had to do was sit there and listen, and for the
Right.
most part, sitting there and listening. And letting them feel heard, and also explain, pointing out to them where, not at the moment, sometimes you got to give it some time so they can feel their feelings, but pointing out where, hey, that's a feeling, that's not what you actually experienced. You felt
Yeah.
that they didn't like you, or you
Okay.
felt like they were being a certain type of way when they weren't. But yeah,
That
And let me
sounds,
just
conflict
tell you,
that
happens.
like
sounds like a
poly,
lot of emotional labor, brother.
it is,
Well,
it is, and a poly can sound like a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work because
work,
everybody has
yeah.
a different personality. Everybody has a different need. Like I understand in my poly that I bring something to the table that she doesn't bring. She brings something to the table that I don't bring, right? And there's something about him that we both like, that we want to be with him. You understand?
Mhm.
So I know that I'm the lifelong partner. I'm the one that's thinking about things. I'm the one that has a better understanding of things since I've been in the life longer. And she's the younger one. She's the spicy one. She got that energy, that attitude that he likes. So I know my role. I don't get jealous of her. I don't get envious of her because I understand the dynamic and I accept that.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
That's what's up. Did everybody get to speak on their intro? Did we miss somebody?
Who's the
Yeah.
brother above Sir Baker right there? Who's that? I don't know. I
Did
can't
did
I
everybody
don't know why.
get
Marla.
Mocha
Okay.
Mocha.
I'm
Yeah.
Maybe
just
we
getting in
know.
the house. Hold up. Give me a minute.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I know how it is, Mocha Chala. Yeah.
Man, listen, it's been quite a day already. I'm trying to tell you. I don't even
Yeah,
want to
but
go through all the
Miss
BS.
Adora, if you don't mind, and
Yes.
glad to have you back, Miss Adora. Glad you could join us again.
Thank
But
you.
I was
And
wondering,
you see, I brought my friends with me.
I see that.
The more the
We
merrier. We
definitely
just
see
had
that.
somebody
Is
else
that the
join
homie
in.
Craig?
Yeah,
Hi,
Chris
bro.
Craig, what's up, my man? Yeah, but you mentioned when you got your when you went to the sex club, that was it for you. Now, have you ever encountered an experience where you went to the club with a partner and you were engaged in a session with someone else and they got jealous? I'm
Yes,
curious. Yes? How did you handle
absolutely. That is. Um, it depends. So earlier in my journey, right, I was married, and so
it?
my husband and I were both young because we were like, man, I've been doing this for 20 some years. So I think we didn't know no better, right? And so we didn't have a lot of rules, which meant we didn't have a lot of arguments and disagreements because we didn't know to have rules.
All right.
So that was kind of, so I didn't have that early in my journey. Now, as a single person, it's different because I'm single. And so, yes, I go out with dudes, and sometimes they feel like I'm more to them than I know they are to me.
That's a nice
Because
And
way
I
of
have
I
saying
heard
that.
no,
a dude say one
and
time he went
so,
with a chick to the sex club. He
Yes,
couldn't
yes.
handle another dude getting with the chick. And
but did you hear what
still
I
bothered by
said?
that. I'm
But
sorry, say again.
I said, so you didn't understand what I was saying, right? I make
Sorry
sure
about
they
that.
understand that while they might have thought I was more important to them, I help them understand they're not that important to me. So there
Yeah,
is that.
we kind of
Yeah,
get that. Women don't feel
yeah.
like men are important. So yeah.
No, I
No,
didn't
no,
say
no,
that.
no,
I
no. I think you're
definitely didn't say
misunderstanding her
that. I
words.
love men. I definitely love men.
I
But
think you're
what I'm saying
misunderstanding her
is,
words.
right, I think you're not understanding. Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
try
have
to
to be
explain it.
layman. You
You
got to put
try
it
to
in layman's
explain
terms.
it.
Because remember,
You try. Yeah, I'm
you guys are
trying.
speaking to the vanilla the vanilla community. You understand? So for when you already know because you were all vanilla at one time.
Yes, I
So
was.
just you
I
put
was
yourself
young.
in those shoes because anybody that sees it, they're not going to get what you're saying. You know, anybody
What
that's watching,
Adora,
they're not going to totally get what you're
So,
saying. You
so
got to
what
try to
Here,
say
Adora,
here,
what
exactly
let's
Adora,
what it is.
what
We
Adora trying to
understood.
let's
say,
let's
what Adora
Mocha
trying to
try to
say.
say
Oh,
it because she didn't get to do her intro, so maybe
okay.
Yeah, come
it'll
on,
help
Mocha.
too.
Leave it at Craig. And
It's your
Craig,
Go
you
ahead,
turn.
right
go
after
ahead.
Mocha.
Well, I don't know how to do this damn camera thing. So,
we
wherever
see
this
you.
thing is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we see you.
Well, I kind of got introduced to it kind of like Adora, but mine was a date also. Um, I was new to the Charlotte area. I started in Charlotte though. I was new to the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and a friend of mine from the area I moved from was here, and he said, "I got a club you'd like to go to," and he took me to Carolina Friends, and that was it. I loved it ever since then. That was 20 some odd years ago. Carolina Friends is in South Carolina, exit 1 on 85.
You know the address there? I
That's
like
what's
that.
up. That's what's up.
She like
Hey,
in
my
the middle of the
original
night. I can
club
give
is still
address.
What
there.
exit again?
It's off of
What exit?
85, dog. I
What
remember that.
town
It's
is
off of
that?
85.
Am I making a
Yeah.
left or a right? Am I making a
What?
left or a right off
Right.
the?
Off the
was,
exit.
that was
What town is that?
so it's gone. They
Right
still do
above
Yeah, the club
Charlotte.
I started with 400,000 years ago is still around, but they are still an exclusive club that you can't just show up to. I will definitely say that.
yeah,
They definitely have a process before
don't
you
have
just can show up with your money at their door.
Uh,
My
yeah,
man,
that's
Craig, just Craig. What's up, bro? I see you down there, man. What's happening?
Yeah, Craig.
What's up?
Welcome to the party, man.
What's up, Craig?
and as far I like to also saying as far as people getting jealous because they can't handle who you with, there's a lot of people that show up that just they ain't ready. It sound better than it's different.
Hmm.
Yeah, I heard you got to be a strong person to
You
really
ain't got
do
no,
that
that's
shit.
you gotta find out if you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah,
Everybody can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what
No.
I've been hearing about it.
I
It's
can't
not
do
for
that.
everybody.
the
Yeah, you
difference
got to
It
be
between
is.
ready.
African American lifestyle and Caucasian lifestyle is totally different.
Okay,
Their
so that was my
mindset,
next question.
their
Yes.
energy is totally different. For me, in my opinion, the Caucasian community, they're with the shits. They're open to do almost any and everything. They let their spouse do whatever they want. They are
Yeah.
comfortable and confident in whatever is occurring that night. And when they go home, they have no issues. They have no concerns. I think more so in the African American community, it's more of who knows who. If the relationship is solid, you know, you have a lot of people that are in LS dynamics that are not secure in their own relationship, but then they test the waters. And when they test the waters, they're not confident and it
Mm-mm.
causes
I-
conflict. I believe that in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
African American community.
And if you don't fuck a black woman right, she gonna talk about your ass. So you better come in there and bring some goddamn heat.
I would assume that with any group of women. You probably don't hear it from the white women as much. They don't.
I guess different experiences for
Well, we
different
don't
people,
say
brother. But on the general,
we don't say
on the
fuck. We say
general,
play. We say play.
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
We
because
play.
play
because
right
it's
with
not
them
always
sisters. They gonna
sex.
embarrass you.
It's not always sex.
What's a major
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
of it, though, brother? Major part of it. Major part of it.
I
But here's
mean,
the
It
thing though.
doesn't.
Okay,
Yes.
Sex is
okay.
15%
not particular.
sex is
Not a
15%
major
physical
part.
and
Right.
85% mental though.
It's not a
I'm
major
sure
part.
most don't go to the
And there's
club for a
It's
mental
not.
and
experience.
there's
It's not
and
popping
there's
off.
parts of the
I
lifestyle
mean,
that don't do a lot of sexual stuff. There's parts of the lifestyle like
yeah, but
kink and
you don't go
BDSM that there's no
you don't
sex.
join the lifestyle for the mental part of it,
I
right?
mean,
Some
yeah, some
people,
people do.
yes.
Some people do.
Yes.
Some people
Yes.
definitely the
Yeah.
mental, the spiritual, the behavioral. They join like I have done like hey, my friend here, Craig, has done probably more rope scenes than anybody else I know, and the majority of women that he actually had sex with is way lower than the majority
I
of
need
women
to
he
hear
had.
from Craig, man. Craig, you
Like
kind of
Yeah,
so it's
quiet
like
down there,
Craig down
brother.
there. Oh,
Craig ain't
he got some
saying
stuff
nothing.
to
So
say.
Craig,
You can
I
tell.
think
Look
Craig
at him.
knows
I
some
was
He
gonna
shit.
over
say,
there
Craig
cause
knows some
bubbling.
shit.
He
I've been
What's up,
bubbling.
naked at
Craig?
Craig house many times, and me and Craig have never come close to sex. Not
No,
Oh,
one
boil
time.
over, Craig.
Not
Boil
one
over.
time.
Craig,
Talk
you gotta
about it,
let us know
Craig.
something, bro. Tell
Let
us
us know
something, bro.
something, bro.
So for
We don't
me,
hear Craig.
rope, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So for me, rope is my primary key. Uh, I use rope as a healing modality for people all around the city. People travel all around the country to come do rope with me. It's not about sex. It's about surrender. It's about the headspace that they can get into. It's about the beauty. It's about the art. So there's so much more to it beyond just the sex. And for me, like I look at my role in this realm of influence as a healer. Like this is sacred work for me. So I have people who come to me, and the vast majority of the time, I have people who just break out into tears. They come to get tired and they cry, and then they leave the session and they're like, "I feel so much lighter. I feel so much better." And then they come back every single week.
Mm.
Because
So
they like the feeling you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
no, yeah, no. So that's what so it there are definitely sexual elements to it, but there are also intercourse is not always the goal and it's not always desired.
Yeah. In
Okay.
a lot of dungeons, you can't really even have sex.
Really?
Most kink events, not true
Huh?
kink events, they will absolutely no sex. And they'll keep repeating it when they give you the
What?
They will,
rules.
yeah. They
No
will explain it to you.
penetration.
No penetration
What
No
do
sex.
you do? What do you?
So
kinks, different stuffs,
There's
rope and
there's a whole
Okay.
wall
other
behind
stuff.
me. There's a whole wall
Okay.
Right.
behind me of stuff you could do that don't
There's
get
no
near
sex.
sex.
No
Okay,
I
And
got
so
sex.
it.
let's go down
chime
a
in.
list of different kinks so
oh,
that people
okay.
will
Okay.
understand. Because when you say no sex and you say kinks, that automatically will take the vanilla world to say what kinky? What's kinky? But kinky is also leading to
Impact
sex or
play.
something, like biting on nipples, that's kinky, but that's leading to, but this
I really
is
consider
something else
that kinky.
that's
Kink.
not sexual. Kink, not kinky.
You can do
So
impact play, which isn't sexual, which includes spanking, paddling, flogging, whipping, caning. It's about anything that you hit somebody with will be considered impact play. You could do rope play like Craig was talking about, which ranges from it's about like doing something that's like just something on someone's hand that's supposed or on a body that's supposed to look nice to putting somebody up in the air and making them look like they're levitating or flying or gripping somebody so tight that they can't move any parts of their body. You have like breath play, which is a long range of things. I mean, I could keep on going literally
I
forever. I
see
have a
that,
book
bro.
that
It's a
says
lot of shit.
101 kinks, and like I'm only talking about. You have fire play, you have electro play. I have a whole electro kit back here. You have
You have
degradation
voyeurism. You
play.
have
You have
people that go to
degradation,
parties.
voyeurism. Let's watch.
You have people that come to parties that just want to look and watch other people have
Yeah, I've heard of
intercourse, and
that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
they're turned on by that. I do cupping. That's a kink. Cups
Do
with
what now?
fire.
What's it
They
called?
put it on my
Cupping,
cupping.
cupping, like fire
Oh,
cupping.
okay.
wait,
Like
Do
wait,
you
they
wait,
do
put
wait,
fire?
wait,
popcorn
wait,
Is it
wait,
in
wait.
my
fire?
Break
Or,
food.
that down a little more. Fire cupping? Break that down a little bit.
Cupping,
Go
cupping.
ahead, Sir
cup.
Baker. You can break it down.
Okay,
Yeah.
so fire cupping is under. I guess because under fire cup is like on the fire play. What you do is you put fire in rubber alcohol, and it's a suction that comes on the skin, so you get a lot of physical massages from it, and people use it more as a medical treatment a lot of more times than anything else.
Like
But
a lot
it's
of
also
athletes get it for their muscles.
muscles. Yeah,
I was
Really?
thinking about that. That's what I was thinking about right there. A lot of
is it
athletes.
literally that?
So I can
I enjoy knife play. I do knife play. I do rope suspension. And the reason for my kinks is because I was always trying to find alternative ways to have an orgasm without intercourse. So those were the kinks that does it for me.
Wait. So you have an orgasm just from knives being rubbed against your body?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a-
Absolutely.
I'm a good old wheel watcher, me myself. It's
I'm-
it's incredible.
you can
So
make somebody
knives
come from
turn
rope.
you-
Right.
100%.
That can happen from text.
You can make somebody come from a massage.
Yeah,
Yes.
I made a woman come 2 times with her pants on by rubbing her back before she left my house.
God
I've
damn, I
made
need to
people
find out what
come
these
Hey,
with
massages
where's your
that shit
book
at.
again, bro? Is your book on Amazon? Where's my pen and paper? What's the name of that?
That's
So
interesting,
And
man.
why everybody's talking about those kinks, there are also the totally non-physical kinks. There are
right.
actually people who enjoy service, and that is a kink for them.
Yep.
Right.
So they do
Sure.
exist.
When you say service, for example, what you mean, like, for example,
Just
service?
so, like my first BDSM dynamic, we did not have sex at all. I was their service submissive. I moved in their house and I took care of their house, and I dated people on my own. But everything I did, they controlled it. But it was not
I
about the
think I can work
kinky
with that.
stuff. I learned later. I learned the
I
kinky
think
shit later. For
I think I
me, it
can
was
work with that
about
part.
the exchange. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
if I
I
come home,
mean,
you done cook, you done clean,
yeah.
you get your thing right. Goddamn right. I like
Well,
that
But for
part.
definitely clean
me,
your
it
whole
was the
goddamn house.
service.
Huh?
But in exchange, they got me healthy. Like when they met me, I was overweight, I was unhealthy. Like, and it was an exchange, right? Because I
Yeah,
met
it's a fair
them and they
exchange.
said, "What do you want from me?" And I said, "I want to get off medicine and be healthy." And I was totally fucking joking. And then people made me go to the gym and got me healthy.
That's a
And
good
in
trade.
exchange, I took care of their house. Like, but it was no, people didn't understand. There was no sex. This was really exchange. So there are
Yeah,
all kind of
yeah.
aspects to this world that don't include sex. I just be trying to
See
help
that?
the
Yeah.
vanillas understand that it's not always sex.
Not always sex.
Not always.
So so part of it is also a thrill to an event, to a point. So there is the sexual part of kinks. There's the thrill part of kinks, and I don't know how would you describe the service part? Is that would that be kind of like under the thrill section because it's a thrill for you to do what the other person? Would that be in the domination part?
No,
Would that
Yes,
be
I
more
was just
dominant?
gonna,
submission.
I was just
It'd
gonna
be
say
the
that.
essence of
Yes,
Submission, yeah.
BDSM. It's the essence
right.
of
It is
BDSM.
definitely right. I was gonna say it is what BDSM is, right? It is about dominance. Not everybody does all of the letters, but dominance and submission, like that's what got me into the BDSM world. It was not, I found kinks way later. Like somehow my first dynamic, they didn't beat me, they didn't do them things because they know how to do them things, but they didn't want to introduce me that way. They wanted me to come in learning the foundations of BDSM, right? And
Yeah,
so
I like the
they made
submission part. Yeah.
they made me read books and stuff and actually learn how to be a submissive. And then after
I
we
like that
ended
part.
it, then I went and
Yeah.
found the kinky stuff, and then I fell off in the deep end after that. But yeah.
We find the kinks later. Let's get the submission part under control.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
No, that's right up his alley, boy. I tell you.
Well, see, I think that's why I'm heavy on the kink side because I respect the BDSM lifestyle. However, I have a problem with submission, and it's so I think it's more so of the word. And me being a New Yorker and just being so independent and stuff, I can't separate the word submission as just releasing yourself to someone. It troubles me mentally that I can't really claim BDSM, but
Yeah,
I claim kink, being a kink.
yeah, that's a huge problem in the black community. That word submission. Yeah, we seem to have a problem with that one, but I understand. I do. Yeah, but it's interesting, man. All this is good stuff. I never knew a lot of this stuff.
I feel like though, when it comes to the word submission, a lot of people take it for the way that
Slavery.
the way that the vanilla community uses the word versus the way that the kink community uses the word. The kink
part.
community uses the word submission as a position of power. There is no one who's more powerful
Yes.
than the person who is submitting because they are allowing things to happen.
They
And
made
people
a
Right.
choice.
think
That's
Exactly.
one way to look at it. Yeah, that's one way to look
But
at it.
Exactly.
no, but that is
So,
what it is. Like
so no,
submission
yes,
has to be given.
yes.
So like say I want to be owned by somebody like Baker or even Craig, right? Like because I am unowned, which is another discussion. Neither one of them are ever going to come to me and say, Adora, I would like to own you. That's not how that works. I have to come to
Yeah,
them. Like as the submissive, you have to formally say to somebody, I want you to own me. I want to give you this control. And then you negotiate what that means for you. Maybe
Right.
all
Right.
you want them to control is you drink 8 cups of water a day. This is the control I gave you. But as the submissive, I had the power to give you that control.
Yeah,
Right. Now,
I see that.
let me be honest. I do have a
Mhm.
form of submission, but for me, I see it as subliminal. For example, I am a rope bunny, right? So someone ties me up. In order for him to tie me up, I must submit. I must be calm. I must be aware. I must release any desire to want to move or to want to do something that may affect that tie. So I have to submit to him so I do not get injured.
Mhm.
And I
100%.
accept that form of submission, but technically I'm not submissive.
No,
I will
I like your honesty. I like your honesty.
I will say when it comes to rope is an incredibly dangerous activity.
Very.
Um,
yeah.
and
The wrong line in
anytime
the
you
wrong place.
What
rope
makes
line,
it dangerous? What makes it dangerous, brother?
The wrong
well,
line in the wrong place.
Yeah.
My
so
God.
there's a number of things that make it dangerous. So
Okay.
you can with rope you can uh, cause nerve damage. You can strangle somebody. You can suffocate someone. You
Mhm.
can cause blood loss. You can cause limbs to no to pool blood, and then those limbs completely stop working whatsoever.
Mm,
And a lot
Yes.
of these,
Damn.
and a lot of these things
Really?
they can happen within a second. So
mm.
Yes.
it takes
So,
years and years and years of practice and knowledge
uh,
and consistency, and you will still fuck it up eventually, right? We call rope edge play because there is no way to make it safe. There's only way to
Right.
make it safer,
Yeah.
and
There's no
then
way to make it
Right.
completely safe.
Right.
we use techniques and knowledge and skill to mitigate risk. So we are gonna fuck up, but the way we fuck up is different because because we have rope shears. So you don't. So I have to cut the rope. That was a fuck up, but you didn't die.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Well,
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
then.
I
if
mean,
that's how you like the nut, yeah.
I've been with my rope guy for 3 years and I suffered an injury this year. I had radial palsy where when I was untied, my hand went completely like this and I could not bring it up. I couldn't, there was no function. I could move my fingers, but I could not do nothing for 2 months.
Yeah,
And
and
that turns you on. That's a turn on.
No, that wasn't.
That
That
was
wasn't.
not a turn
that's
on,
a
that was an
No.
injury.
And
That
it's
was
Yeah.
an
a
I
it's
mean,
a
but
injury.
I'm
dual
saying
risk.
that's due to roping, right? A rope, something.
Yeah,
Yes, but listen though, when I sign up for someone to tie me, I already know the risk. I've read
Mm.
yeah,
books, I've done research. I don't just meet a stranger and say, "Can you tie me?" I check their social media. I ask people how their experience was. I do my reference. I don't let strangers tie me because I don't know how experienced they are or how inexperienced they are. So I
Mm.
stick to one person,
Right.
and even that person, when a person is tying you up, you are trusting them with your life.
your life.
And that's the part that turns you on,
No,
right? No.
having the
Okay.
rope being touched on my body,
Uh-huh.
squeezing me, caressing me, the design of it, his breathing, the music playing, me in a very calm, non-thinking, erotic um, feeling, the the what do you call the amphetamines
The,
within your body that's rising,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you're released from the rope, how light you feel.
Mm-hmm.
All of that
I,
is a high
I,
for me.
I'd like to see some of this shit. I don't think
Very.
I'll participate, but I
Very.
like to see
I
some of it.
If
Very.
you go,
For real,
to-
man.
if
We,
you
Yes.
we
follow,
got to take a trip, man. We got to take a trip.
For real. Yeah, I'd like to see
I,
some of this, man.
Me
I
too.
wanted
I'm
to.
learning a lot here.
I
I'm
have
learning a lot.
pictures. Adora
This
has a lot of pictures.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
you can
say I
check out
post a
all of
lot.
our. You can check out all of our social medias. I'm quite sure me, Craig, Adora, Miss Berry, we all have a lot of
Right.
rope stuff up
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna have to do that,
yeah,
man, because this
Most
is
definitely.
interesting, man.
I just
I'm
did a
I'm
rope
gonna
scene
saving.
with
tell you.
Adora.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Adora and
I,
I have been tied up together several
yes,
times.
we
really.
have. Yeah.
I actually plan to come to New York soon to do rope.
Damn.
Wow.
Miss Berry, I was gonna
Listen.
ask you. So when you're up, right? Do you? So I have a lot of bottoms that have been up on my rig, and they all tell me the same thing, that they get really warm when they're up there, but as soon as they touch the ground, you need to get in front of the blanket.
Okay, so let me just explain to the vanilla world what we're talking about here. So when we get
There
tied
you
up,
go.
individuals can experience different things. Some people don't go mentally when they're getting tied up because they just not connected with what is happening. Some people really take it in and get engaged. When I'm suspended in the air, suspended means that they're tying me, but they put me on a hook, some hooks, and they rig you up like if they're pulling wires and you're hanging in the air. When I'm up there, I'm trying to really mentally be calm because I don't want to get any anxiety. I don't want to have a panic attack because I can't move and I can't do anything. And also, I have rope tied tightly on my skin. So the more focused I am on just being relaxed and trusting him, that makes me feel good. But then when I'm released, I feel very weak. I feel like I've lost energy in my body, and I
Mm-hmm.
usually need a power nap. I need like a 10-minute power nap, and I
Mm-hmm.
need orange juice. And that's
Orange
called
juice.
aftercare. What
Wow.
everybody may need something different when they're done with their session, and that's
But
any
you need
session.
orange juice.
I need orange juice and I need a 10-minute power nap.
Got you.
And
Adora,
that
what do
sounds
you need?
amazing.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say so. I'm a little different than Barry in the fact that first off, none of it is sexual for me when it comes to like rope or impact or like none of it. Like I love it all, but none of it ever makes me feel like sexual. But it does make me like relax, right? And so for me, it's like I go just my mind is always going and I'm always going and I'm working out and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But when I'm in a scene, I can finally just give somebody else control of the situation, like complete control. So whether it's rope, whether it's another scene, it doesn't really matter. It's the freedom that I now have to relax my mind and give somebody else the power in the situation. For my aftercare, I like to go dancing. Honestly, like that is literally my best aftercare is to go dancing afterwards. If I have a really intense scene, I really want to go dancing. Um,
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know
especially
how
if
she
it's
does that.
something that
Yeah,
hurts
we
my skin. Like, like, yeah, Baker was there one time when I spent a day with a whip and left with band-aids on my ass to go dance. So because
I was the one that hit you. What was that?
I
Was that my
know,
fault?
and I had to go dance after because that's
I
what I do. Like
when I
I
found out you
dance.
went to go dance, I was just like, how in the hell does she have the energy? I was like,
Yes,
I'm tired after doing that.
yes.
I have a
Well,
question. I have a question. For those
uh-huh.
that, you have rope, you have knife, and everybody that has their kinks, do you enjoy watching the kink as much as you enjoy performing it?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It
Because I can't wait to be
depends.
next.
Oh,
And
also, so there's like a build up. You're like, oh, wait, oh, I like that. Oh, the knots are right. Oh, they
It
didn't
can be
pull
a
too fast. Oh, okay.
so
it
And
can
I
be
it's
a
go
build
through
up,
different.
anything.
but it's also a form of art. It's like
Yeah.
how is the person that's doing it performing it?
Mhm.
What makes him unique with what he does? Because everybody has a different style, right? And
Mhm.
how is the canvas, which is the person that's being tied, how are they responding to what's happening at this time? You can have someone that makes a person seen, especially if it's at an event. You got to have the right person being tied up, and you need to be connected with that person. because that way he has to know when something's not right. I need to be able to communicate with him that that's too tight or that's not right. You have to communicate with that person. So I'm watching them, learning and also respecting their connection and their craft.
Everything
But
you
if you
just said.
yeah, but
So
if you don't submit, would that still work? If you don't submit,
Yes.
yeah,
So it's
okay.
one thing Miss Berry said. I wanted to make sure that people understand. Like, so a scene is what happens when you do any kind of like kink play that includes rope or impact or
Role
any of
play.
those things. And those things start with negotiation and vetting and making sure you know who you're asking to do what to you, that they know what they're doing. It is very you know, important that safety is involved with a lot of this because a lot of this can be dangerous.
Right. And I hear you, brother, but I gotta ask this question. What is there money involved? Who gets paid? Who pays who? How does that work? Is it transactional or is just kink fun or just
All of
something, a
the
lifestyle?
above.
All of the
All of
above.
the
All
above.
of the above,
God,
all of the
bring
above.
it.
However, I don't get paid to be tied, and I don't charge him to use my body to tie. So for me, it's an even exchange because
No money
we have that
involved.
connection. So I have that desire to be tied. I can go over there and he does it for me. And not only does it take a lot out of me that is being tied, it takes a lot out of the person who's doing the tie. That person is
Okay.
exerting a lot of energy. It's not a book that they're looking at and they're tracing what someone did. This is their creations coming out of their mind. And
Yeah,
it
I
can
always
take
say,
between 5 to 10 minutes. It could take 5 to 15. It could be a half an hour design. You never know. So it's an even exchange for me.
yeah, I always say a fair exchange is no robbery. So if it's a fair exchange, then everybody good, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
So on the opposite side of that,
Hmm.
I do rope, and I have way more people who want to be tied by me than I have the physical capacity to tie those people. So
Wow.
I have people who like Adora. Adora calls me and is like, Craig, I need a rope scene. She doesn't even need to call. She just opens my front door and boom, we're gonna tie. But then I also have people online. It's just like I've been watching your work for years, and I want to come down. And for those people, I charge those people because
Okay.
they're requesting my energy. They're requesting my time. They're
Your
requesting my
Right.
service.
attention. They're
Yeah,
requesting
Right.
my
as
service.
Right. I
I
agree
do
with
Good.
this.
that. I
I do
definitely
the
agree with
same
that.
thing when it comes to. So again, someone like Adora. Adora literally just came to my career. I literally had to me and Adora schedule the scene. She doesn't really have to pay for a scene for me. But if you're coming and you're hitting me up for a scene, especially if this is something that you saw my work online, like I'm a pro. I do this pro as pro topping. So I definitely do charge for scenes, but it's a whole extensive thing that you have to like vet for, and fill out forms. So,
Mm,
but I wanted to
okay.
answer the question about watching other people's scene. For me, it
Yeah.
all depends on who's doing it. So, like, if I'm watching Craig Ty, I'm taking notes and I'm paying attention like I'm watching like Professor Xavier teach a class. I'm like, let me get that right there. And other people, like if I'm watching my homie McKnight torture somebody, I'm taking some torturing lessons. I'm watching some other people do like mental play. I'm taking lessons because I feel it is very important in our scene to learn from everybody you can. But if I'm watching somebody just do some sexual, rubbing on someone's body, I'm not really all that interested. Like watching somebody have sex, that's cool, but I could just watch professional porn.
Nah, I want to watch. I want to be right there, like, listening to the sounds. I like
Watch
to
someone
be
get
right
tortured on the
there.
other hand. I want to watch someone get tortured. That's
I
what
want to
I'm
see
Mm.
on.
that shit. Man, I want to see. Hey, D, we got to take a trip, bro. We got to go see some shit.
Yo, when we get off this joint, we gonna think about it tonight, and I get the flyers every now and then, and I'm like,
Yo,
I'm going to
we
work.
got to do
But
it. Yeah, we got. I got to see
So
this
can I
shit.
can I say something just to the vanilla world? I just want to say that there's a lot of misconceptions about the LS community. It's having
Mhm.
sex and being out here and whoring and stuff like that. It's not like that. The LS is a space for you to be sexually free and hopefully not receive any judgment on the wants and the desires that you want to experience. And you're around like-minded people who feel the same exact way. It does not mean that we're in this lifestyle and being reckless. It doesn't mean that we're out here being irresponsible. It doesn't mean that we're out here not using protection. And a lot of times it doesn't mean we're out here with strangers. This is a community. It's very small, and we talk to each other every day. We're in groups. We're in chats. We go on trips. I went to Hito, which is a nude resort in Jamaica, with 250 people that I speak to all year long. I live in New York. I go to parties
That's
in
that
Maryland.
Temptation
I go
Island
to
thing,
parties
right?
Huh?
Is that Temptation Island thing, the Hito?
No,
No.
No, that's something
No.
else.
Temptation is
I
different.
think
That's different.
Temptation
Okay.
is in Mexico.
It
But I
is.
mean,
That is
the point that I'm trying to get across is that it's okay to feel sexually free and be comfortable in your skin, because you only got one life and you cannot really live for other people's expectations. You got to live for what works and what makes you happy. And the women that are
And I
involved
want to
in this
add
lifestyle,
to what Barry's saying, though, before we go too far. I'm not going to lie and say there's not a lot of sex. I'm not going to say that every one of us on this
right?
call has been in at least an orgy or 2 or 3 or 10 in our lifetime, okay? I'm not going to lie and
No,
say all of us don't
I
do
was
that
about to
too.
say that.
keep it
I was
real,
about to
Dora.
say
Keep it
that,
real
like,
now. Keep it real.
I do,
we're
but
saying,
it's not about sex. It's just we also sometimes have great sex.
Yeah.
amazing sex,
I'm
amazing sex.
sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why.
Amazing
That's why.
sex.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and,
why
It's
and
not
the
the
women that are out
goal.
here, and the women that are out here having sex, we're not hoes, we're not sluts. We have great careers, we have goals, we're established. It's not like it's
Well,
just nilly-willy. A lot of us are, and some aren't, but
well,
we go up and we go down. But we're a great community.
going up and down is right. Yeah, and
Hey, I was just about to say, there has to be some great networking within it as well, and
Yes,
the
very much.
camaraderie that comes with it, because it's almost for those out there, kind of like being in a fraternity or a sorority or Eastern Star, whatever, because you're going to share something with that person that the rest of the world really may not get. They may not fully understand your commitment to it, for one, and they just don't understand the lifestyle in general, the life in general. So I really get that the networking, and you never know who may be part of the lifestyle from what I've heard. And I'm
And I
like,
travel.
really?
And I travel the world, and I honestly, when I go places, I make a post telling people where I'm going. And when I get there, I know for a fact there are people there who are going to tell me what to do, where to go, because I have, like Barry said, I have a community. So I could just post it. If I'm going to Houston, I'll post in a group full of people from Houston. Hey, Doris hitting up Houston. What's happening? People will drive
Yep.
me around like the whole nine because we're a community.
Yep.
Well, how do I sign up to be a friend of the lifestyle? G, you down? You putting in your application too?
oh, not right now. I'm gonna find out more about the lifestyle, and then I'll probably put it in later.
Yo, send
just
me an
learning. I'm
application.
taking
If I
baby
get to go,
steps here. I'm
if I
taking
get to go to
baby steps.
different cities and hang with people, and I still get to learn more and see more and all that,
Yeah.
son, man, listen, I'm all about learning, because
It's the best professor. the best professor.
Um,
I'm just saying that there's so much
I'm
going on
just
in the
a baby
world.
to me. It
There-
is,
there-
man.
There's a lot, and why just limit yourself, even if you're not fully into it, but why not try to be knowledgeable? That's just my question. I rather
I
that's
like
why
to
I-
see it though. I'm interested.
yeah, that's
But
why
also,
that's
you don't
why I
have to
set
like
this up.
everything. Also, you don't have
Exactly.
to like everything. There's I know
Right.
people that are like into like one specific thing, and that's literally what they do. I know people that are like into everything. I know people that are like very strict on what they like, and they came here for that. And when they done with that, skedaddles.
Yeah, I like the submission part. That's the part I like. I like
Lord have mercy. Oh Lord.
yeah, dude.
Okay, so
Yeah, man.
that's so crazy. I had something I want to say to this guy. Okay, so we've talked about the kinks. Now, I know that, like it was mentioned earlier, there are clubs in different areas, and you know, I know that a lot there. I've spoken to quite a few people who have visited the trapeze. Quite a few people who were there, and they said they were just gawking. And it's like, how often in a location like that do you see vanilla people? And when you see them, can you tell that they're vanilla?
Yeah.
Do they have a smell on them or something?
Stench.
They act
Got
a
a
certain
stench
way.
on them.
Not,
They
They,
just
they
act a certain way. They act brand new.
yeah, they act
Yeah, they're more shocked and
At
very
one time,
judgmental.
shocked.
on.
Yeah,
that thinks everybody's gonna get
shock
them.
would be the word. Shock would be the word I would see. You could tell they're very surprised.
I can see that. I can see that.
I totally understand that because I was
Yeah.
invited to a party once that I will tell the world I did attend a party, and because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see what was going on, and I walked in, had my drink. It was a private party at a house. And I had my drink. They had the chicken wings and all that. You know, they had a DJ and all that. I said, okay, yeah. And I walked to the room. I said,
Yeah. I got
Really?
one last question. One last question. How do y'all separate the lifestyle and what y'all do? Not saying there's any correlation, but there could be association with some. You know how some people think between what you guys' lifestyle is and what Diddy done or what Diddy allegedly done.
That's good.
Allegedly, no.
Oh, good
Consent.
one. Good one.
Consent.
Consent. Yeah.
Consent.
Oh, you
Consent.
don't think them
In
girls
one
he was
word.
with consented?
Yeah, consent.
Well, now I can't get into the specifics because I don't know his situation. And to some extent, some of what he did was swinger parties. Some
Yes.
of them. I
A
will
lot
not
of it.
say that. I will not say that sometimes people don't get drunk at a swingers party and maybe they don't remember what they did the next day. I'm not going to say that never happens because that would be a lie because we are human and vanilla people do that, right? Sometimes
Right.
people get too drunk and they do some dumb shit. So that happens. But mostly, right, we are about consent. We're actually more about consent than the vanilla world because like a lot of places you can't even just touch somebody. Like people ask you, right? We ask for permission, right? We say, "Can I touch you? Do you mind?" Right? Like even at the parties, men don't just like people think they just putting their penis in you. No,
Yeah,
that ain't how
it's
that
an
works.
etiquette to it. I heard it's an
It's an
etiquette.
etiquette. Yes, you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
there's a
ask.
whole-
You don't.
there's
Like it's
protocol.
not the Wild West. It's not the
There's-
Wild
I
West.
always,
No
I always
means
tell
no.
people, no is not a word. No is a sentence in the lifestyle.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I have a question to add on to that. So
Interesting.
with Diddy, he had a lot of people being recorded. So I'm thinking I've never heard, which I haven't spoken to 1,000 people. I might be at about 40 or 50 that I've spoken to who consider themselves LS. Is there a lot of how often do these parties or anything get recorded?
Most dungeons take your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I be in places begging for a picture. Like, please, can y'all have the staff take the picture because I look really cute and I just want a picture. Like, yeah, no, we try. Now sometimes I'm not gonna lie, especially at house swinger parties, people don't enforce the camera rules like they need to. I do perform. So Baker and Craig, they are tops, right? So they do service tops. I'm a service bottom, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I like that term, but whatever. But I'm real specific when I'm doing shows now, right? If I'm going, because I like being naked, and so I be hoping people don't record me, but I have to understand the world I live in. If I'm in a more vanilla setting, like I do shows in a cafe, all of these vanilla folks got their phones out recording me. I know
Right.
if I go
Apache?
to a kink space, yes, at Apache, they definitely record. But when I go to a kink space, it's the opposite. I know for a fact they didn't let nobody record me. Even
Right.
if I begged and pleaded for the daggone recording, they like,
Yeah.
no cameras allowed.
Nah.
Look.
You better come on a
Adora,
flip
I
phone.
definitely, Adora, I definitely consider you a show bottom. Like
Yes.
you are a
Yeah.
show bottom.
It's one
He
thing
Yes.
is
Dora was saying earlier about consent. It goes doubly in the kink community. They are very much. It is rack risk aware consensual kink. You have to like first know what you're doing and be aware of it, but you have to give very clear consent. Like if I ask you, like, hey, can I shock you? And be like, where on your body do you not want me to shock you? And if you tell me you can't get shocked on your shoulder, I can't touch your shoulder with it.
Mm.
Really interesting.
right.
Well, hey,
And then at
I,
those type of events, you're not allowed to drink either. You have to be sober
Yes.
when you're at those
Mm.
events,
yeah, because I'm sure
so
the
that you're
alcohol
fully
adds to it.
aware of what you're getting involved in.
Because you
Okay.
can't be aware if you're drunk. So if it's a kink
Right.
event, they're definitely making sure you're sober because yes, how can you say yes that I was aware, but I was drunk? Then I wasn't
Right.
aware.
Yeah.
I think the
Mhm.
difference with P. Diddy is that P. Diddy was doing the same thing that we do. However, he
Mhm.
was doing it on a much larger scale with celebrities. So,
And
you know, he was
drugs.
bringing in
Another
he was
drugs.
bringing in women. He was bringing in the clientele for
Yes.
these people, and he was paying for their fares, and he was paying for their, you know, their way to get there and to be involved. And you're not supposed to pay. You're not
There's
supposed to
also
bring people across the
Mhm.
border or across from one state to another for a
I'm sure
sexual
Hugh
event.
Hefner did some of the same things. I'm sure
Oh
Hugh
Oh,
yeah.
Hefner.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been happening for a long time. Now, why P.
Right.
Yeah.
Diddy is
Absolutely.
in the news is some reason we'll never know.
Yeah.
But
He
you
did it a
know, he
different
not
way,
new.
but yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. I'm sure they people did it way worse than what Pitty did.
I'm just saying as
Whatever
far as
Absolutely.
Diddy tried to
somebody
blackmail
picked him right now.
the small
I
hat
just
people.
feel like something happened that
Can't
we'll
do that.
never know as the little people. But what I will say is, um, the things we do in the lifestyle, we choose to do them, right?
Mhm.
right. There's
And
no
that's that.
coercion.
No, like if I want Craig to beat me, I have to ask Craig to beat me. Like you're not gonna see the person who's beating people in the dungeon walking around saying, "Can I beat you?"
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, like you said before, the subs really hold the power because they
Yeah.
allow whatever to
Yes.
happen to happen.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, that makes
But hey,
sense.
Yes.
It's
panel, it's past my bedtime. I gotta go. I'm glad I was able to come up for a few minutes, but I appreciate you guys
Oh yeah, it's
coming.
Okay,
time for
it's
me
nice.
to hop off soon too.
Continue the conversation. It's a good one. And
Yeah, it is.
come back again to Funky
It was a
Uncles.
pleasure speaking to you.
Nice
Likewise,
speaking to you.
likewise. Y'all be
All
safe
right.
and have a good one. All right.
All right.
Um,
Now, but we're not done yet. We
I was
not
gonna
done
say because
yet.
I was gonna say because I do need to wrap up soon too.
Yeah,
So
same here.
Same.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you guys have to go, then I understand because there's just so much more. There's no way that all of this can be wrapped up in an hour. However, I understand everybody has their
yeah,
life
please
and,
have
and,
me
and
again.
everything.
Have me again. I have a call I have to take, but have me again.
Listen, everybody on here, you can follow me, Andrew Coaxum on Facebook, Funky Uncle Drew on Instagram, and I always let everybody know on Wednesdays that we're having a show. Sometimes I don't know what the show is going to be about. Sometimes I know early, but this is one that I definitely wanted to have, especially after having Adora on. And I know that there are people out there that have questions, have assumptions, misconceptions, and everything. And I like like I said, I want people that are in this to tell you. I don't want you to go to some Joe Schmo on the corner who's going to make things up and make it seem like it's something that it isn't. Some of the stuff I've been informed of, some of the stuff I haven't. It's all learning and it's all fun. I'm loving it. Throw this in the McDonald's bag. I'm loving it. So
all right.
yeah, hopefully I get to meet all of you. Like I said, just send me the invite. Most definitely. I'm definitely going to accept. You'll know when we have shows. You can come on. We talk about kink. When we talk about anything, you're always invited to the Funky Uncles. We will have any conversation, because that's just what we do. We grown, and I just love it. I love it. So before we get off, we like to have this thing where we say final thoughts. So everybody go through with their final thoughts for tonight. Don't everybody speak at once.
I think Craig should go first because he went last.
Yeah, go ahead, Craig. My man on all quiet.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for allowing me to talk about my rope practice. This was a great opportunity. I hope to be back soon. And I really do hope vanilla people who are interested in kink choose to walk the slow path as opposed to jumping in head first. That doesn't serve anyone.
Right.
Know where you're going, know why you're going there, walk with intention.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next. Barry,
I
go
guess I
ahead.
could go next.
Go ahead.
Listen, I am a woman who is proud of her growth, learning more about her sexuality after the age of 44. And, I feel free and comfortable in my skin, and I'm not ashamed of what I love and what I enjoy. And I think that, if that's something that you're searching for in the vanilla world and you feel comfortable probably introducing that to your husband, giving the idea, or your boyfriend, and that's something that you both could, add to your life, it could, it could be an amazing thing if it's done properly. So just be open-minded to different ways of life and enjoying yourself on many different levels.
Got it. Next. Go ahead, Baker. We gonna close this. We gonna close. Let Adora go last, and she's been here
No
before.
problem. No problem. Thank you again for having me. It was a lovely getting to talk to y'all. Most of these
My
people I
pleasure.
know. Lovely getting to meet you. I really enjoy what I do, and I enjoy getting to do with some of the most amazing people I've met on all my journey. And this has just been another great stop on my journey. Thank you so much for having me.
My
Adora?
pleasure, man.
All right. I would say that yes, the life that we live might seem extra exciting to people who don't live this life, but most of us, it was a process to get here. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 some years. This is not I woke up just totally knowing everything. I made mistakes, big mistakes, really big mistakes, super big dumbass, like make no sense mistakes, right? Because I had to learn, and my mistakes had to be big enough for me to learn. So I'm hoping that other people don't do it the way I did it, which was to try to jump in head first and not understand what I was doing. Learn what this lifestyle is. This is a lot of work to make it work. I don't care if you're a swinger, poly, a kinkster, whatever it is not easy in these streets.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
Okay. And I will
find
say,
friends, because Adora is my friend.
I will
All of
say
y'all
that.
is my friends. I ended up with all my friends on the show. Look.
Yeah, y'all my people now. I will say we didn't get into much of the poly or the
No.
lifestyle, the swingers and things like that in general. So that means there's going to have to be a part 2 to this at some point. And I want everybody to go ahead and put their Instagram, whatever, out there, so that anybody wants to follow you and see what you have going on. Go ahead and put that out there too. We got to do that. We want you to get those follows and everything.
You can
Craig,
follow me
what's
at
yours?
Sir.Bakerman.
Sir.Bakerman. Alrighty.
Craig, just Craig.
Just that simple.
Yes, that's not. Yeah. And I am Adora LS, but it's like Facebook. I had to make LS the last name, so it's a space. Instagram is Adora_LS. FetLife is Adora LS run all together, but it's always Adora LS in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
There's always Craig, just Craig, no matter where you go.
Okay. And boy, Barry must have froze. So I'd like to thank everyone. I appreciate all the information. Like I said, like G said, we're gonna have to make us a trip. We just met some new friends, and we go hang with you, chop it up with you, because I'm sure that you guys are the life of the party. And it'd just be
We
fun
trouble.
just to just to see some of these things, to hearing about it is one thing, but seeing it is something else, and seeing how people enjoy their lives without caring, for one, about what other people think, for two, but to also be around others that share the same love for what they're doing. And that's a beautiful thing in this world. That's just how I feel. If anybody else doesn't feel that way, then meh, oh well. But this is the Funky Uncles coming to you, and we're closing down this show. Once again, we'd like to thank all of our guests. We had one that dropped off, didn't really say much, but hope they enjoyed themselves as well. You guys are always welcome back. Let me know, we can come on and we can do that other section as well. If you want to invite other people, we can fill up this panel and just chop it up. Wednesday nights, this is what we do. So here I am, Funky Uncle Drew, closing the show with the Funky Uncle salute to all. Y'all have a great one. And like I said, y'all hit me up on Facebook. I'll definitely accept, and we'll chop it up.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
all.
night.
Good night.